Another way you can do it is calls to action. So now you have a couple articles, let's say on a website. There's two ways you can do it. You can provide the link in the text, or you can provide a link out of the text. Notice how in the text is I had the sentence and I just had it underlined. So an example of this would be, let's say I have an article here on the greatest way to prospect with sales prospects. And you're writing a sentence that says, I've told you before about great ways to find prospects, and you make that entire sentence blue, and they can click on it and go to that article, but they don't have to stop reading the sentence or it doesn't take them out of it. Now, let's say you want to highlight something like, hey, go to my website and check this out. I have a new article, colon, outside of the text, you're specifically pointing them to that idea. Notice that the text is separate from kind of the main subject line for when it's being provided out. This is important because there's different ways to call people to action, to get them to do something without having to disengage with the content that you have. So core concepts for content to drill for. Develop contact that connects emotionally and painfully with your prospects, and use your content to draw people to your website, product, service, or video. I'm going to keep on rolling here because I'm getting close to being out of time. But content organization for fun and profit. How does laying out your information increase your profit? Opening paragraph. A lot of ways to open it up. The hardest thing for me is getting into a word processor, blank screen, cursor blinking, keyboard not clean. I don't know how to start. So here's some ideas on how to start. Here's a way to begin an article. Here's a way to begin an email. Tell a story. Story could be the whole email. You don't even need to have a middle and end. Just make it a story. You could also talk about a challenge or problem you're solving. One of the things we're talking about right now at Corkscrew Mobile is how to get really, really fast at writing emails. Because I spend way too much time in a day writing the same email over and over and over again. So we're doing a series on how to be really quick and fast with writing emails. Another way you can do it is narrate the problem, like I just did, where I talked about how I spend a lot of my time in a day having problems writing emails. And everybody can relate to that. Why? Because who hasn't written an email today? Everybody's written an email today, at least at some point, about something to somebody. And I guarantee you, if you look around, you're going to find emails you write over and over and over again, and you don't even realize it. You're going to go, why am I wasting so much time writing emails? That's narrating the story. You could also reference a conversation you had with someone and write out that dialogue. For example, I was talking with Cart a little bit earlier today, and we were talking about how someone can go from kind of being disengaged from the entrepreneurial world and getting re-engaged again. And I could go on to write an article about what it means for people to get excited again after they've taken a break or a vacation and get back into their entrepreneurial mindset. You can have testimonials. You can interview a prospect or a customer in the email. You can also have a good customer write a brief statement or testimonial about a problem they're having and then provide a link to an article that you have that solves the problem. You can also have a quote, but the most important thing is you need to make it interesting. You can use an interesting quote, interesting story, but it's got to be emotional, it's got to be intriguing, it's got to draw them in. If it's just facts, you're probably not going to get too far. Middle paragraphs, you want to explain the problem, go into detail, and you want to give a reason it hasn't been solved yet. You want to dig in with your customers and find out why they haven't figured this out on their own, or give reasons why they haven't figured it out and then show them how to solve it. You want to use words that are emotional. Notice the theme. Use words that are emotional. But I heard that once or twice in this presentation already. Not logical. You want to write like you're talking to your best friend, your customer. You want to use a lot of you words, and we're going to go into that here more in a second. And you want to build up what they're going to read next at the end. So with that part I just showed you about the link being set out, see they click on it, okay, check out this link. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to really help you out with insert the problem that you've been talking about the rest of the article. And provide a reason to click on it, give them an offer, give them something that will motivate them, tell them that it'll help solve their problem. The The more you do that, the better it'll be. Another thing you want to use is use a postscript. I told you there was bonus content at the start of the email. This is the bonus, 2-part double bonus. The postscript is the most read part of the email. It's read 60% of the time. You want to know why? Notice what I did there? I asked the question. The reason why is because everybody scrolls down to the bottom of the email right away. I don't know why, but a lot of people do, to see who wrote it and to see what's at the bottom. And if you have the postscript at the bottom, that's most likely the first thing they're going to see when they read your email. So put your call to action in the post and provide a link to your product or information that you're providing. It could be the website, it could be whatever it is you're trying to promote. Put it there. Put just a quick little blurb about the emotional problem, and you'll get a lot more conversions because that's what people are reading. Put it where people are. So, power tip as well is you want to use first and second pronouns in your writing. Use a lot of yous and I's because that's how you talk. When it's an email, it's supposed to be one-on-one. It's you having a conversation with a person. It's not you having a conversation with an audience. He, she, we, they verbs, pronouns are less personal and they're more abstract, and it don't typically sit down in front of you and you talk about you in the third person. You want to be as though you're sitting at a cafe, coffee shop, a bar, park, picnic, office, work, house, on the couch, like you're just right next to each other. So notice the 2 examples I got here. You've probably noticed how long it takes you to write an email, more conversational. You've probably noticed how long it takes him to write an email, less conversational. It's just not you and me talking back and forth, it's this other guy. We're talking about the other guy that's here. It's kind of weird. Make conversational, you'll connect with your prospects. Core concept for organizing and profit, have a strong opening paragraph to draw people in, write using you because it's conversational. Have people do something at the end of your email, give them a call to action, and use a postscript to tell your main point one more time. Draw people in, get them to your content, get them to your product. Just my final thought. Pick one of these concepts and fanatically focus on doing it this week. Don't just think about doing it. Don't just pretend you're going to do it. Do it. Action will cure fear. Next week, add another element. Keep changing. Keep growing. Not all of these ideas are going to work together, and others, when you mix them together, are going to be totally killer for you. Every idea in this presentation that you add to your emails will cause you orders of magnitude of success. So real quick, you guys want to type in 1 or 2 things that you learned in this presentation and what you're going to start using. Type away. More emotional words in my email subject line. Trevor, that's a great one. Getting people connected, getting more emotion in it, people are going to be more excited about what you have to offer. Who else has something that they learned and they're going to start using? Need to use the postscript. Postscript. I love the postscript hack. It's amazing. It's so simple, so effective. Moving right along. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Last thought I'm going to leave you with is, do you crave your emails going from dull and uninteresting to giving you tons of prospects and sales? Do you want to implement the ideas here at light speed? Are you sick of struggling, trying to figure out on your own, and want to get some professional help? Well, that's why I'm here. For the first 20 people that send me their emails, I will personally critique and provide suggestions on everything from the subject line to the last character in the email, free. To go and get a professional online marketer, email marketer to help you out can be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. You that same coaching and advice free. Go to corkscrewmobile.com/ferocious email. Go there, enter in your name, your email address, and you'll get an email message from me and respond back to that email, and I will critique the email that you send me. Send me the body, the subject, lay it all out, and we'll get you going. We'll get you straightened out. We'll get you supercharged with email. At Corkscrew, our mission is to be the best in the world at teaching marketing, sales, and business professionals the psychology and technology that works and makes them more productive. We also have blog posts right now. That's about the art of less email. Go there right now before you forget. It's corkscrewmobile.com and sign up for our mailing list. Last, final thought I'm going to leave you with is my favorite quote from Theodore Roosevelt. Get a little excited, a little bit motivated to go and try this stuff out. The quote is, "The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly but errs and falls short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, but who knows the great devotions, the great enthusiasms, who spends himself for a worthy cause, who, in the end, at best, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly. But his place shall never be amongst those poor and timid souls, neither victory nor defeat." Thank you, guys. You've been great. It's been fun. Don't do it good. Don't do it great. Do it to change lives. Questions?
Awesome, Lucas. And I got a few questions coming here on my end. I don't know if you can see, so I'll just let's go through. Let me pick out just two, just because I know we've already exhausted the hour that we said.
Yeah, I want to say sorry for running a little bit longer than I expected.
Hey, no worries. It was some great stuff. Taylor from Chicago wants to know, would you recommend text-only emails or HTML image emails?
Are you promoting an idea or are you promoting a product?
It looks like she is promoting. It looks like it's a niche focused a blog that she runs.
I personally think if it's a blog or an idea, I think just doing the text is better, and here's the reason why. When you write an email to your friend, you typically don't include a bunch of pictures and buy here and buy now. Because the whole idea, especially in the blog world, is all about building relationships and building connections with customers. And you want it to feel as much as possible as though you two are sitting down in a cafe somewhere and you're talking over lunch. And pictures, I think, kind of distract from that. Also, another issue is that it tends to make the emails bigger, and if they're looking at it on, say, a mobile phone or an optimized web browser, it'll typically filter those images out. But if it's on a web page, when they open up that web page, it typically doesn't filter out those images. Now, if you're selling a physical product, I think having a picture is good because then people can see it. So, like, for example, when I get the Express emails, they're selling clothing, it's really nice to be able to see the clothing that they're promoting. And having that be in all text format really wouldn't make a lot of sense. And I'm willing to click on the Show Me the Images button because they've actually showed me, like, I know I need to see it for me to get interested. Great question, though.
Awesome. Let's do one more. Andrew from San Francisco wants, with the newsletter, do you like to include an offer or would you send a completely separate offer like email? So I guess he does some type of newsletter, and he wants to know if you should include offers within that newsletter.
I have an idea on that, and that is, if you're already doing it, keep doing it. If you're not doing it, save it for separate emails, or save it for on your web page or YouTube video or somewhere else. And here's the reason why I say that, is going back to the treating people like they're your friends in email, to just get them engaged, get them drawn in. Now, I know there's a lot of email marketers who love selling through email, and that does work for their brand and their concept, but I think it's a little bit more, it's a little easier to build a connection and a relationship with your prospect when you're just sending them messages and you're communicating back and forth like your friends. Because the more you can get them attached and connected and feeling like you understand what's going on instead of you're just trying to sell them something, you really, really build up that relationship with them. Versus, hey, we're great friends, it's going well, P.S. buy this. I was just thinking over dinner how typically when we try and go and sell, we go in right away with the offer and don't spend time on building the relationship. Now think about the last time you went on a date. When was that I've ever gone on a date and said, hey, you can go on a date with me if you buy dinner? You know, nobody does the buying and selling up front. It's we hang out, we try and understand each other, we'll laugh, we'll joke, and then we'll say, oh yeah, by the way, let's go grab some dinner. You don't just lead out with, hey, you want to spend some money, you want to buy this. You don't really lead in with that. You kind of save that for later. Same thing with selling. Same thing with like email, same thing with selling. The relationship first, then you say, oh yeah, by the way, here's what I have to offer.
Great point. Awesome. Well, I think that wraps things up for tonight. Thank you, everyone who took the time out of their day to come and listen to Lucas give us an awesome presentation here. Definitely look out for the next presentation. We're lining up another awesome speaker. So check out the Chatterlime Facebook group as well as the website for more news in that area. And like Lucas said, go out and implement one of these ideas. Take action, because that's certainly the best way that you'll retain this information and you can utilize it to start making a difference in your business. So with that, good night, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.